Hello. Last month I got sort of addicted to watching a TV show called The Dog Whisperer, and it is amazing how so many quotes that appear on that show, and that show is made by Milan. Uh, it is amazing how I started to make the bridges. It's not difficult to make the bridges between the dog psychology that he teaches on that show and our bad experiences with narcissistic abusers. And so far I got a few quotes. I'm gonna talk about four. I want to show you four quotes from the show that they really can be eye-opener quotes, and they make us think and learn more about what is what this reality of narcissistic abuse is all about. And if Ollie Matthews considers narcissists the terminators, that's the image he uses. If he considers narcissists terminators, uh, we can easily consider, just to use another image, we can easily consider narcissists dogs in the red zone. You know, those are dogs which are very aggressive, antisocial. They bite a lot. They don't respect anybody, and they are not suitable dogs for any family or any owner. And the only solution for those dogs is to be euthanized because they can't function. Okay, so if we could use another metaphor for narcissists is red zone dogs, mad dogs. The first quote I want to show you so that we can think about it is when he was talking about a dog who is growling and who is an abusive dog. Okay, just growling and likes to bite the owner. So he's talking about this dog, and I kind of adapted the quote. Okay, the quote says, "If you keep the dog away, the dog doesn't get fed from the sofa or from you. By themselves, they don't know how to function. By himself, the dog is not powerful at all. It's when he has a sofa, a toy, a food, or a human that the dog, becomes powerful." Now, these words, when I heard them, they are so obvious, aren't they? It's like we're not even talking about an animal, a dog. We're talking, narcissists are exactly like this. If you keep the narcissist away from our lives, he doesn't get fed from us, okay, from you. And when you leave narcissists by themselves, they don't know how to function. In fact, we all know that they can't function alone. If they, if we could grab narcissists and isolate them on a cell, uh, experts say that narcissists will disintegrate. I don't know what they mean by that, but they can't function. They can't function already. It will be the destruction of a narcissist to be locked up alone. By himself, he's not powerful at all. So that's the difference between a healthy mind and a narcissistic mind, because a healthy mind is powerful. Healthy, assertive, high self-esteem mind is very powerful. Okay, even if we leave it by himself, there are lots of people who live in the woods, who choose to live by themselves, and they live happy lives, and they are just country people. Okay, so they don't die because they're alone. Okay, uh, but by himself, he's not powerful. The narcissist. It's when he has a toy, a food, or a human that he becomes powerful, and that's kind of suits very well with this metaphor for the narcissist. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because uh, it's by our emotions and our reactions that we feed the narcissist and empower him, and feed him with ammunition, and uh, with our stress, because the more stress we get, the more we are empowering the narcs, and the more we kind of enter into defensiveness, and just defending ourselves, really reacting to the abuse. We are just feeding the narcissist. So they need us in order to become powerful. That's the only way they can. Their power comes from the outside. They say that the sick minds, like the narcissist minds, they have an external locus of control, and that's why the narcissist feels so powerless. And having external locus of control sort of means that the narcissist has not inner power. Okay, all the power, everything that happens to him, he thinks it comes from external sources. So he has no internal resources to cope with the external uh, the external forces of life, hardness of life. That's very that's all I can say about that right now. Locus of control, it's very interesting. If you can do some research about it, it's healthier to have an internal locus of control, because then we feel more powerful. Personal power I'm talking about. So that's the end of this first quote, and maybe if we we grab the dog psychology and apply it to a narcissist, it will fit very well. And I think that the reason is that the narcissist resembles a dog more than a human, and he the narcissist can be treated like a dog, And even this is insulting even to dogs, I know, because a narcissist is a monster. Uh, but dog psychology serves more, gives more guidelines to treat narcissists the way they deserve to be treated than human psychology. Yeah. The second quote I want to share with you is when Caesar says, keeping the dog away is a psychological way of telling the dog, I don't agree with you. It needs, the dog needs somebody to growl. It can't do it by itself. Isn't it amazing? Okay, the narcissist needs you, needs me to growl and to shout, to blame, to accuse, to throw all the blame and to say bad, hurtful words. Um, the narcissist can't do it by himself when he's alone. That fits, um, and this idea that keeping the dog away is a psychological way of telling the dog, I don't agree with you. It serves as a sort of encouragement or a kind of a soothing idea for people who are now starting to go no contact with their abusers. Because when I was doing it, I was in the beginning, I would say, well, I don't know what I am really communicating to my abuser. I would like to say to my abuser, you're a piece of shit, and all the things we want to say when we are angry. Um, and this going no contact is just going to be me running away. I felt so like, okay, I have to do this for my health and nothing else. But the idea that Caesar shares in this dog psychology thing is that, in fact, you are sending a psychological message to your narcissist when you go no contact. It is an attitude. By doing nothing, they say we are actually doing something. So, and in fact, no contact is not nothing. It is something. And it's a psychological way. It's psychological, and I think that was very helpful to me. This idea, because I told myself, oh, okay, so I did the right thing. I sent a psychological message, and I am sending a psychological message to my narc abuser that I don't agree with you. This is very soothing. Even though you're saying nothing, you're not communicating, the message is I don't agree with you. And you remember, when you told your narc abuser I don't agree with you, he would go into narcissistic rages. So now we don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore. Okay? And we can still say I don't agree with you, and the narcissist is powerless to reach you. And more and even to the narcissist's dismay, not only you are still telling him I don't agree with you, but you are healing. You are on the road to healing, to recovery, or at least we have a chance to do it. Okay. I know that it's very hard for many of us. I am one of them. It's still I still have a long way to go because there are some things, some errors in thinking that my hurt still don't let me make it right. Um, because sometimes we resist healing, and that's my case. And that's because of okay, what guarantees me that another narc won't do the same thing for me in the future? So I'm gonna hide myself in the hole. So because I'm gonna be hurt anyway, so what's the point of trying to start a new life, start a new career, a new job, going out, meeting new people? What's the point? So the hurt makes me resist the road to victory, in fact. But that's still very new to me. I don't want to talk more about that because I am not there yet. I'm not a good role model. Which is not to say I'm not. Uh, which is not to say my presence on YouTube is not helpful, because uh, it is by telling our stories and the truth of what we feel and what we are that we are helping. Okay, and when the time comes, just say, okay, today I made a progress in my healing. Uh, it will come. Okay, I kind of let's get back here. The next quote uh, that I want to share is the third one out of four. Is when Caesar said in one episode, uh, why the way the dog reacts works, and the way the dog reacts, he's referring to temper tantrums. The dog starts barking, and if you reach out, he bites, and he spins around. He does all that scene that narcissists do very well. The drama, okay, the complaining, because you did this, because you hurt my feelings, and you are taking advantage of me. What else my narcissist said? Um, you are treating me like an ambulant instructor. I found it very rude the way that you gave me the compliment. Blah blah blah. Okay, so why the way the dog reacts works? That's a question. That means the owner is in a worse state. So he, the owner, gives it so much power. The angrier the owner gets, the more fearful the owner gets, the more powerful the dog becomes in front of the owner. Isn't this amazing how it fits and how it teaches us about what we are going through, what we've been through? And now, this might be hurtful to us, but I want to say that uh, we, the survivors and the owners, we are not to blame for being in a worse state, okay? We are not to blame for being angry and fearful, because this state is nurtured by the narcissist. It is created, it is staged, not staged, it is provoked by the narcissist so that we can be better food. Okay, the narcissist needs to create drama so that we can react dramatically. Um, so he provokes us. Okay, so we are not to blame for being angry. But the fact is that the narcissist knows that the way for him to become powerful is to make you weaker. Isn't that obvious? And how he makes us weaker? By making us angry and fearful. So after he reaches that point, the narcissist can make the abuse go worse and worse. That's why the quote is, why the way the dog reacts works, because then it starts to work more and more, and the abuse gets more intense, and the temper tantrums works more and more, and we kind of get more and more submissive and give more and more of ourselves until we are depleted. Why the way the dog reacts works with the temper tantrums. That means the owner is in a worse state, but this worst state was created by the narcissist. Okay, it's not because we are bad people or angry people or fearful people. No, no, no. The narcissist makes sure we get in that state gradually. So that means the owner is in a worse state. So he gives it so much power. So by us being in a worse state than the narcissist that is angry and fearful, we are giving the narcissist power. The angrier we get, the more fearful we get, the more powerful the narcissist becomes in front of us. So the solution to make the narcissist less powerful during, if possible, during the abuse and especially after the abuse is assertiveness. And assertiveness, one of the things that come with it is calmness. And assertiveness and calmness, they work together, because if you are assertive you feel empowered, and when you feel personal power and when you feel empowered, you feel calm, because you know you can cope with anything in life. So you are very you become very calm, confident, and quiet. It is what they call a quiet strength. So then we are not angry, we are not fearful. That means we are not in a worse state than the narcissist, because the narcissist is the one who is angry and fearful. Therefore, the narcissist is not powerful in front of us. If we reach the point when we are calm, assertive, and this quote taught me a lot about all this. And the last quote I want to share with you, Caesar said something like this, and it was when a dog was about to bite and was very angry, a very angry dog. He said, "If I would have touched the dog with the wrong energy, him being in that negative energy, two negative energies will attract. He would redirect the energy he wanted to use towards another dog towards the other dog, towards me. He would redirect the energy he wanted to use towards the other dog towards me. He would have totally used me as a source of releasing frustrated energy. This impressed me because it fits very well with how the narcissist uses us to take revenge on his past abusers, especially his family of origin, father or mother. So let's go again. Caesar says, if I would have touched the dog with the wrong energy, and that we can understand that, like, if you get in contact with your narcissistic abuser with the wrong energy, meaning being angry, as we almost always are when we are fooled by the narcissist over and over again, angry, fearful, and hurt. If we get in contact with the narcissist with the wrong energy, fearful, angry, hurt, him, the narcissist, being in that negative energy too, because he's in that negative energy by default, two negative energies will attract. That's why I got more and more involved with the narcissist. The angrier I got, the angrier the narcissist got, and the trauma bond was getting stronger and stronger. Two negative energies were attracting, were bonding. Then he says, and we can adapt here. If I touch the narcissist with the wrong energy, negative energy, the narcissist would redirect the energy he wanted to use towards the other dogs, or the other people that the narcissist is angry with, towards me. So that's what the narcissist does. He's resentful about his family, his past, probably narcissistic abusers too, who broke his spirit when he was probably 4 years of age, 4 years old. So the narcissist would redirect the energy he wanted to use towards his father. Narc 2. My Narc 2 hated her father. Her father is dead, and she said, I don't care about Halloween, I don't know, the day when you visit the dead in the cemetery. All Hallows Eve, I guess they call it. You guys call it. So she said, I never went to visit my dad. And she said that with lots of negative energy and resentment. So I know that her worst abuser was her father. So he would redirect the energy he wanted to use towards her father, or the mother of the narcissist, or both of them, towards me. So if we get in contact with a narcissist when we are angry, he's going to use us to take revenge on his past abusers. And he would redirect, instead of taking revenge on the father or the mother who abused them, he would redirect, and he would invest the energy in you, on you. So the destructive energy, because he can't put it in the true abusers, he would put it on you, redirect to destroy you. So in fact, we are playing the part of the abuser on the narcissist, in the narcissist's play or story. He would totally have used me as a source of releasing frustrated energy. So that's the part when we are the objects of the narcissist. That's the part where we realize that, wait a minute, I'm being used. And we are okay with being used in many ways: financially, emotionally, for attention, uh, other ways sexually, but also we are being used as a source for releasing frustrated energy, as a punch bag. We are being used as the scapegoat, because the narcissist is so frustrated because he can't take revenge on his true abusers, and he's so frustrated because he's a loser that he uses this as a punch bag to release frustrated energy. And here's something I want to tell you, which I've been meaning to tell every one of you a long time ago, and just now I remember. It's just a small story, not even a story, but it illustrates this, when the narcissist uses to release frustrated energy. I had a girl I studied with in my adolescent years. Diane, she's called. Diane has a very abusive mother. Even today, they live together. And maybe 2 years ago, she spoke to my mom about the relationship, because my mom went to the Protestant church. We are all born Catholics here, but because of the abuse that I was going through, and the thing in the university thing that failed, I was in depression. So my mom needed, she felt she needed a closer uh, relationship with God, and the Catholic Church was not providing that at the moment. And of course, the Protestants, they have a philosophy which is very it's not the priest, it's you. So she felt that the closeness was very helpful to her at the time. So she learned to read the Bible. She had lessons which she never got in the Catholic Church. Um, but not by the Catholic Church's fault, okay? Because the Catholic Church, they held they have groups that can teach how to deal with the Bible. So I'm not here to say anything bad against any religion, because mainly because I was not planning to talk about religion, and I don't like to talk about religion. I only talk it when I feel I have to. But anyway, this Diane was in the church, in this Protestant church. So she talked to my mom. She said to my mom, "Hey, my mother is very mean to me, very abusive. There was one time when my mother had a rage attack, a rage episode towards me, and she screamed, she yelled at me, and she said nasty words to me. And right afterwards, my mom fell asleep. She fell asleep in bed. She slept like nothing ever happened. And so she told my mom, how can my mom be so mean and rageful and yell and do the temper tantrum, and in the next moment sleep like a baby? So and that's why, because she abusers, they release frustrated energy, and I think that also has to do with adrenaline rush that makes them feel good after they abuse us. and they get their fix. And it's a kind of addiction also. And narcissists are a bag of addictions. Okay? They are addicted to many things. If not drugs, addicted to reading, addicted to abusing us, because that gives us the adrenaline rush. And if they don't have this adrenaline rush through abuse and through releasing frustrated energy, they get like shaky and kind of okay, I need to get this fix, so I need to provoke a fight just to abuse to get my fix and release my frustrated energy. So see, that's why they provoke fights and they provoke abuse. They fabricate things just to get their drug, and we are just objects to be used for their sick purposes. I hope this was helpful. I might share some other quotes that I find. Uh, Thank you for your time. Other things I forgot to say is that something similar happened when Narc 2 broke up with me or discarded me. Uh, she said horrible words to me, very hurtful and stressful. I took her to her house, came back to my town, and I looked on Facebook, and she was just right after I dropped her at her house. She was just talking to friends and family, making jokes, writing jokes on Facebook. And that told me that she was very relaxed while I was in shock, unbearable pain. But no, the narcissist was very relaxed, feeling very good. She was feeling very good, everything was so well with her. I wasn't able even to be okay, but she was capable of writing jokes, which means she was in a better state, okay? She was feeling good. She released her frustration. She had her fix. She was very well, thank you. And it's like in that movie, Standing Up, based on a book, The Goats, by Brock Cole, the guy is called, the writer. But the movie Standing Up, which I write, I watch sometimes. Sorry. There's a moment there when two kids are talking and they say, "How come some people hurt other people? You actually feel worse when you hurt other people." And the other kid says, "Well, that's where the problem is." The other says, "What do you mean?" And the other says, "Some people like it. They they get into this power trip thing." And that's it. Some people, like narcissists, they feel they need to feel bad in order to feel good, meaning they need to feel that they can do bad things, uh, be aggressive, so they can tell themselves, "Oh, I was very aggressive, I was very bad, I was really mean. I feel good about myself because I took my revenge, I won." So that's why I say some people like to feel bad in order to feel good.